Good morning. Today is the start of a new week and I figured I would take you guys along with me. Sorry for the vehicle sound. I'm just warming up my vehicle right now. We got a little bit of snow last night. Nothing to write home about, but there's just some ice and stuff. So I want to be warm for the drive in. So this week I'm actually starting a new job. So today is the day one of this new job and I thought I would take you guys along with me. I'm still at a university. I'm still a library assistant, but I'm more behind the scenes now. My previous job was kind of like 50-50 with processing and circulation and just kind of like stacks management, I suppose. Like in the summer, I was sorting some of the shelves, you know, making sure everything's organized, clean, etc. We do that less during the school year just because, you know, there's students. So yeah, so this job is purely behind the scenes. It's cataloging, which I really enjoy. Some people find it boring. That's totally fine. I'm not the biggest fan of like circulation desk duties. However, I did really enjoy working with the students that I did work with at my last job. But yeah, this is interesting because I have already done this job. I've already worked with all these people. I've already done the job, but it was on a part-time contract basis, and now we are full-time permanent. So I'm really excited to get back to work and to like see everyone again. So yeah, let's head on into work. Hello! Oh, it is freezing again. Oh, winter is here, or it's coming. So the day went really well. It's like 4:25-ish, so I'm gonna head home. What happened today? So this morning I got in and for whatever reason there was an issue with my computer. So literally from like 8:30 to 12 I had absolutely no tech. So I was like sitting there waiting, and of course there were also meetings for people happening today. So the people that I needed to talk to were in meetings, so they couldn't get to me right away. And so I had to literally just like wait for people to get out of their meetings so that I could get my computer functioning, because there was some kind of like issue and it basically needed to be like completely, like Microsoft had to, or Windows, sorry, had to be completely reinstalled on my computer, which was fun. So while I was like waiting for the systems analyst, I was like reading, and then he would come up, grab something, and we would talk, and then he would go to like grab something and I'd read again while I waited for him. So yeah, it was a fun morning, but we got it functioning. And then in the afternoon I basically was just like updating myself, making sure I knew what was happening. Some things have changed, but nothing like crazy, so that wasn't too bad. But yeah, oh, let's get all warmed up. We're gonna go home, probably have some leftovers for supper, and do some more reading. Oh, I don't think I've introduced what I'm reading yet this vlog. So I'm reading Malice by John Gwynne, and it is the first in the Faithful and the Fallen series. So I am currently reading this. I've never read, I don't know why that was so difficult to say. I've never read any John Gwynne before. This seems very fantasy, very Scottish. I have absolutely no knowledge of John Gwynne, so I'll have to look into it. I don't know if he himself is Scottish or not, but I'm really interested to see what's gonna happen. Lots of perspectives so far, and we're just kind of getting into there. So anyway, let's go home because I'm freezing. So sweatpants are on. Ugh, I can't get my legs up high enough. And now I'm gonna make a Caesar salad, steak Caesar salad, I guess. So not chicken Caesar salad, but with steak. We've got leftover steak, so figured I would do that. Something quick and easy. So let's go pull up. Good morning, happy Tuesday. It is even colder than yesterday, actually. Probably should have wore a scarf. Car's just warming up a little bit more. I just finished scraping. I have my bag of goodies to take with me to the office. Had some plants that were at my old office, so I'm just kind of moving everything over, so it's really nice. And yeah, today is a little bit of a busy day just because, not like work-wise, but I don't know if you can tell, I have my winter tires in my trunk. So I am going to be doing that on my lunch. I need to get gas at some point today, and I'm gonna drop off a book at the library tonight on my way home from work. I finished reading Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. Love it. It was a reread. It's so funny. The humor, the way it's written, like the style, all of it. Love it. All of it. So good. So yeah. So let's get this show on the road. Oh, so today's the end of day 2. Feels so good to be back. I can't say that enough. It just feels so nice to be back here and just doing the job that I'm doing, and I really enjoy it. I can't say that enough. I really enjoy it, and I'm really happy to be back with people that I work with and everything. So I know you can't really tell, but I have my summer tires, all seasons, in my trunk now. I did that on my lunch. I have to make a couple stops on the way home. My partner's sick, so I'm probably going to pick up some Pepto-Bismol, and I need to stop at the library, to drop off Crazy Rich Asians, and also I need to pick up some COVID tests, just to make sure. We're pretty sure it's not COVID. I think he is having like a stomach bug. He has some like health issues, so sometimes they come up as intestinal, which isn't fun for him at all. So that's why I'm picking up the Pepto-Bismol. But yeah, fingers crossed I can get some COVID tests and some Pepto, and we can hopefully get him back on track so that he's feeling better. Anyway, I'm gonna head on out now. Well, here's our update. We thought it wasn't COVID, but it is. So, Andrew tested positive, I tested negative. He's staying home tomorrow, obviously, and I'll be working from home from my job. So I'm very thankful that that is an option, because I know it isn't always. But yeah, it's gonna be a good week. It's gonna be a good week. spending the day at home. This is our spare room. It's got all of Andrew's like hockey stuff, and then I've got a bunch of plants in the corner. Basically, this week I'm going to be, for the rest of the week, I'm probably going to be working from home. I don't have an office, and the desk that I have is currently just covered in shit. It needs to be tidied up so badly. So I need to deal with that. But yeah, I slept in the spare room because Andrew has COVID. And we're lucky enough that like we have this space and we have a second bathroom. So I'm using that just to try to keep myself from getting COVID. I'm a little stuffed up this morning, but I think it's just like morning stuffiness sort of thing. But yeah, I didn't sleep too great because I haven't slept in this bed in a long time. So it was weird. But yeah, I'm gonna go grab my computer, set up shop in the lazy boy, and probably get to work in a few minutes. So I'm just taking a break from work right now, but I thought I would talk to you guys about Malice. I'm not that far. I am 68 pages in, and I have to say, it's good, but I'm having a really hard time just like getting into it. The font isn't like super small, so you know, and it's fairly easy to digest, but I don't know, it's just not catching my attention the way that I would like. I have heard the first book is slower, but yeah, so far there's a lot of Irish, Scottish culture being referenced and pulled with like the naming conventions, the descriptions of the people, just the way that castles and everything are being described. The fact that there's like a bunch of like smaller kingdoms and then a high king is very, you know, old school Ireland. Back when there was like various kings and a high king of Ireland. There's like references to raiders, which to me is very much like references to like Viking raiders. That would hit like Great Britain and Ireland. And then obviously, like, yeah, just the names. There's giants in here. So the giants, to me, that's another reference to Ireland's kind of like culture. You've got like the Giant's Causeway, all that kind of thing. And then, yeah, so it's feeling very UK. Very, and not even necessarily like specifically Ireland and Scotland, because there's definitely still like English influences, I would say. I don't know as much about Wales and Welsh influences, so I can't speak to that. But even like the fact that there's almost references to, you know, like when the Romans were in England and like, you know, built roads, and then were kind of like abandoned England basically. So there's even kind of like stuff like that where it's like, oh, like these roads were built by the giants and they've been abandoned. They've like been pushed out, and they, you know, blah blah blah. And then the giants also almost have like a Pictish feel about them, in the fact that like they are attributed to a lot of like building the stones. So stone structures like Stonehenge, there's similar stone structures where it's like, well, they're the giant stones. The giants did it. And a lot of structures in like ancient Scotland and Ireland are attributed to the Picts that we don't really know a whole lot about, or at least I don't know a whole lot about them. But yeah, so it's interesting. I do like that. I love that kind of stuff. When I was doing my undergrad in English, that was a lot of stuff that I read was kind of Scottish, Irish, English influence. I was pretty big into like the British literature, all that. So I do like it, and like the time period I like, but I don't know. There's a lot happening. There's not a lot of context, not a lot of exposition. You learn a little bit at a time, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping it gets better. We'll see. I wanna like it so badly, and I wanna read it so badly. Another thing that I'm having problems with is like obviously like it's huge, but I was like, oh, like I'll just listen to the audiobook while I'm working, but my library doesn't have the audiobook on Libby, and it's really hard to find an audiobook for it because I don't want to have to like pay $30. Like that was the whole point of like getting this series at the library, was that I'm not having to pay, and I don't really want to support Audible. So I don't know. I'll have to just read it the old-fashioned way, I guess. I don't know. We'll get through it, and I'll let you know if I do or if I decide to DNF it. But we'll see. Hopefully we don't get to that point. So I know the fan's really loud. I'm just waiting for my window to finish defrosting. Yeah, I did scrape it, but so today is actually Tuesday. We are on our way to work. So I ended up getting COVID last week. Surprise, surprise. So you can probably maybe hear it a little bit still. I'm a little bit congested. It's more my sinuses right now, but I'm feeling better. We're both testing negative, so, and I'm wearing a mask at work, so there's no problems there. But yeah, I'm still reading Malice. I'm just over halfway through it. It's taking me a while to get through this book, and I'm like, you know what? The end of this vlog, we're getting through it. And because I had footage from last week, I didn't want it to all go to waste. And because I was talking about this book, I figured it would just be a little bit of a longer vlog. So we'll go through that. But yeah, let's get to work. And I'll talk to you guys after work about Malice by John Gwynne. I'm on page 404, 405. Things are finally happening in this book. Yeah, it's definitely feels like a really intense prologue where everything is just really getting drawn out. Everything's really getting built up. But nothing is really happening. It's all a bunch of little things that are kind of lining other things up, but more to give you context, I feel like, for the characters and events that are going to happen, and the relationships between characters, and kind of the geography and whatnot. So that's what it feels like, basically just one giant prologue, a 400-page prologue so far. And now things are actually happening, and I'm actually starting to get interested. So we'll see what happens in the next, I think there's like 200 more pages, 250 more pages, give or take. I want things to happen. There are certain things where you're kind of introduced to one thing, and you're like, okay, and then something else happens and you're like, okay. So we'll see. There's a lot of black and white, or not, there's no black and white at all. It's a lot of grayscale. So, which I do quite like because obviously people aren't black and white. Everyone's kind of like a grayscale. Actions are a grayscale for sure. So I do like how realistic the characters are that way. But yeah, we'll get into it. I'm going to probably do a little bit of reading before bed if I don't get sucked into TikTok. And then hopefully by the end of the week, this will be done because I want to start on the next book. I want to finish the series because it sounds good and I want it to be good. So we're going to power through it. Yeah. See you tomorrow. So today is Wednesday and nothing really happened today. So that's why I haven't vlogged. I have just been reading a little bit and I'm starting to do some cataloging of the special collections at work today. So that was really cool, just kind of like getting into that. So yeah, just some regular work stuff. We are finally like, we're getting there. We're plugging along. I definitely have my characters that I'm like really supporting, and things are starting to kind of like snowball and avalanche almost. So I'm really interested to see what the end of this book is going to look like, because like stuff's happened that like you're finally, I feel like I'm starting to finally care about the characters, and I'm finally starting to actually like care about what's going on, which is unfortunate, but I'm really hoping the rest of the series goes much better. I've heard it does, so fingers crossed that we finally get there. Good morning. So I didn't check in yesterday because I had no time. Literally got off work, went and got my nails done, got home, went to bed. So I did do some reading, but yeah, I now have just under 100 pages left. So I'm really, fingers crossed, I want to get this done. We're almost there. Things are happening and like, yeah, it's all snowballing, avalanching, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so I got my nails done yesterday, so I just got like a red tip and then kind of like an accent nail. But yeah, so that was yesterday. Tonight, after work, we're gonna have a quick supper. Honestly, probably like instant ramen for supper, not gonna lie. And then we're gonna head out because tonight is the Fredericton Downtown Spectacular. So there's gonna be tree lighting, there's a beer garden with live music, there's free ornaments, gingerbread cookie decorating, there's different like family events, different like sales. Stores are open until 9:30. So I'm really excited. I want to see downtown. Anyway, let's go to work and get going. Hello. It's evening now, and I know I haven't really updated, but last that you guys would have seen, I did finish Malice, finally. There was like a lot of betrayal, a lot of like stuff that was happening right at the end, which was really fun and like great to actually see stuff happening. But and it didn't really end like too much on a cliffhanger, I will say. I don't want to give too much away, but it was really good to just kind of finally wrap it up. I like, there are characters that I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the next book, how they're going to kind of pan out. So, and I'm also excited to start the next book because I have access to the audiobooks for these ones. So
these are going to move so much faster than Malice because I can at least listen to the audiobooks while I'm working. So I'm not just going to have to like wait for my breaks or wait for lunch or like read before bed. Because I mean, like, I love filming, I love like reading and like try to make stuff, but I also work 9 to 5. I have a partner, I have other hobbies, so it's hard to just read. And I feel like the expectations with booktube and book talk and bookstagram and all of that, it's so like you need to be reading as fast as possible. You need to be pounding out a book like every day. Every day you need to be on a new book. And you know what? Congrats to the people that can. Absolutely. If you can and you enjoy doing that, like go for it. I used to be able to do that when I was in high school. When I was in elementary school, when I had zero responsibilities, when I wasn't working, when that was really my only hobby. Things change, and I just can't keep up with that anymore. So I'm really excited to have the audiobooks for these ones so I can just kind of like get through them faster and like process things faster and move on to other books that I want to read faster. Okay, so I'm going to end this vlog here because we're not really doing anything today. I think I'm just going to do some errands. I've got a bit of a headache, so I'm basically just going to like grab groceries today and do some reading. So I'm going to start Valor, and yeah, that's all for this week's vlog. We finished Malice, we're starting Valor, and yeah, started the new job, got COVID. It was quite a interesting couple of weeks, honestly. Anyway, if you like this, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun things, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.